What's up, guys? If you are struggling to grow your Amazon business, get started, scale, any of that stuff, this video is for you because there's one major hurdle that is holding you back, whether it's to get started, whether it's to grow the business, whether it's to make more profit. And I'm going to go over what that is, how you could overcome it, and start thriving. So if you're new to the channel, I've sold over millions of dollars on Amazon, selling books, doing online arbitrage. So if you're into that and want to learn how to make money and quit your job, subscribe. There's a ton of videos on this channel and I don't want you to miss any of them. So what is holding you back? It could be different for everyone, but in general, the thing that's holding everyone back is they're trying to get a complete picture of what the next step looks like. So for someone who's starting out, you're like, oh, how do I find product? How do I get to Amazon? How do I get a prep center? How do I hire a virtual assistant? How do I share leads with someone? You're worried about all this stuff, and none of that stuff matters. That goes for scaling your business too. How do I go from 10K to 30K to 10K to 60K, 30K to 90K? Guys, you just have to put one foot in front of the other. And that's kind of it. And this all occurred to me when I was doing an interview. Someone interviewed me on their podcast and they asked how I got it started. And how I got started, this is a huge mistake I made with OA. For books, I just did the first step and then figured out how to do the second step. For online arbitrage, I wanted to know all the steps. What do you do with this? And how do you do that? And when do you get a prep center? All this stuff before I even sourced a profitable product. Like, just think about how ridiculous that is. So with books, what did I do? I went out, I watched a Reezy Resales video, said, oh, you could go to thrift stores, you could buy books, download this app, download the app, got the seller account, went to a thrift store, started scanning books, took home what I thought were profitable books based on the video I watched. And then I got home and I was like, how do I send these books to Amazon so I could start selling them? So I looked at a YouTube video, figured out how to make a shipment using Seller Central. Probably took me like 3 or 4 hours to get it like situated, just sending in like 6 or 7 books. But I did that, and then it was like, okay, like what's the next step? How do I find more books? Or do I keep going or do I wait? So I continued to find some more books, and repeated the process. And then what happens is like, how do I find more stores to find more books in the area that I'm in? Then I do, how do you find books? And someone was talking about, you have to travel outside your area. So if you only have 3 or 4 thrift stores, maybe go to the next town over or drive a half hour or whatever you have to do to get more books. It's like, okay, I'm going to go do that. If I were to go and be like, watched, let's just say 20 videos, all right, you got to go to the thrift store. It's going to take you like 3 or 4 hours to list all this stuff. This is the tedious process of how to list. Then you're going to have to be driving like 3 hours or an hour to go to different places to find books. And then, eventually like some of the books aren't going to sell. So you have to reprice them this way. And then like, you're going to need this, and you have to hire someone, a lister, if you want to grow. If I consumed all that content, I would have never started, because it's so overwhelming and just seemed like almost like an insurmountable thing, where just go to the thrift store and find some books, scan a bunch of books. Super easy, right? When you're trying to build a business on Amazon, momentum is huge. Finding a profitable product, awesome. Find another profitable product for OA, then another one, and you just stack it on top. Like, I used to start sourcing, it's like, you have to spend $2,000 today. That's 100% the wrong way to go about it. You're just gonna find one product at a time. Be like, okay, cool. Walmart's having a sale. Let me see if any of this stuff's profitable. I'm not like, I need to spend $2,000. No, it's like, all right, let's see if we can find one thing profitably. Okay, cool. We found this. How many can we buy? 10. Great. We just spent $300. All right, let's see if we can find something else. Let's go. Blah, blah, blah. And you just keep going and going. If you have this like set plan and agenda, I'm not saying goals are bad, but when you kind of put that pressure on yourself, like, oh, I got to spend $2,000, you get frazzled real quickly when you're not finding anything, or you start to buy bad stuff just to buy stuff. That's probably the worst situation you could be in. But if you're just like, you know what, let's just find one thing. We'll worry about what else we have to find later, but let's just find one thing. And then you find another thing, then another. Now we found 3 things we could buy. Maybe we take a break and then go back to it. Or maybe you could replenish some of your items. So maybe you're looking through, hey, like what did I buy? Like what's currently selling? What am I almost out of stock? And let me try to like buy some more of that stuff. Is it still profitable? And then before you know it, like you're at $2,000, but it started just like kind of one step at a time. And that's how the business grows. It's just taking one step at a time. It's not, you don't go from 0 to 10,000 by starting with step number 8. You start with step number 1, and that's getting SellerAmp and Keepa. If you want a free trial to SellerAmp, there's a link below. Keepa, super cheap. Those 2 things and an Amazon seller account, you're good to go. That's step 1. Great. Pat yourself on the back. Let's go. Now what are you going to do? You're going to go sourcing. Maybe watch a video. There is about 5 live sourcing videos on this channel that you could watch. Exactly how to find a product. You could apply that to any brand, any category, anything. Like you don't need a video that says how to source beauty products. You just need a video how to source. And then you just apply that how to source to beauty, to health, to vitamins, to clothing, to shoes, whatever you're trying to do. But it's very important to just kind of focus on the step you're on and not worry about everything going forward. Because a lot of the times, that's where people get stuck. It's like, oh, like I'm so nervous about like a prep center losing my inventory. It's like, dude, you haven't even bought like 100 items yet. Like, don't even worry about that. Like, just prove out the concept. See if you like selling on Amazon. Like, you're stressing about stuff. You're wasting energy on things that don't matter and that won't matter for 6 to 8 months down the line. So just keep that in mind when you're trying to scale. How do you go from 20 to 40? You just do it. Like, you just continue to source every day. It's not like this magical thing happens where like, oh, like I have the secret to doing it. It's like, no, you continue to source every day, you replenish your products, you network, you share leads with other people, and then eventually just naturally it happens because you get better. You get better at finding stuff. Eventually your bankroll grows because you're selling, you're getting profits, you're investing it back in the business, and then boom, you're at 40K. It's all about finding profitable items and sourcing daily. That's how you grow, that's how you scale. And it's not about getting caught up in, oh, how to do this secret search on Keepa Product Finder, or how do I use tactical arbitrage. Like, it's none of that. It is just really finding profitable ASINs one at a time, learning how to source really well, and then maybe, just maybe one day when you have like a solidified plan and a certain process in place, then you look at outsourcing it. Then you look at getting a prep center. It makes no sense to get a prep center if you're not doing at least like 20, 30K in sales. It just doesn't make any sense. You don't know enough yet to take that next step. So don't get caught up in all this stuff that doesn't matter. Right now, if you're starting or you're trying to scale, the only thing that matters is finding profitable products and finding more of them more efficiently. That's it. Like, if you're struggling to find more profitable products, usually a VA is not going to help you. Usually when you need to get a VA, it's when you don't have enough time. You're finding so much profitable products, you have so many like places you could buy them and all this stuff that like you need to teach someone else how to do it so they can feed you those leads so you don't have to do it. But it's very rare that someone I know is having trouble sourcing and they bring on a VA and sourcing gets better for them, because you don't know how to source 5 to 10 ASINs a day, like you're not going to be able to teach someone how to do that. So just keep that in mind. Stay focused. This is such a lucrative business. There is so much upside in this. It's just, if you have the ability to stay focused, take one step at a time, not get way too ahead of yourself. Yeah, it's great to have big goals. Yeah, I want to do 100K in sales. I want to do a month. That is great. But just remember, everyone who gets there, they follow a certain path. It's just one step after another, one step after another. Take another step, maybe go back a step. Go forward, go forward, go forward, go back. Go forward, go forward, go back. That's kind of the process, and it's totally normal. So do not give up. Stay in there. Don't worry about all the stuff that goes into it. Just focus on the step you're at, accomplishing that, and then moving on to the next step. And then that's how you could grow or even start your business. Let me know what you think in the comments. I would love to hear it. Please like and subscribe to the channel. It would mean the world to me, and I'll see you guys in the next video.